It's a nice vibe to come on the air with and get ready for this afternoon session in the lead up to qualifying for the Thermal Club $1 Million Challenge. Hi folks, Lee Diffie along with James Hinchcliffe. We've sent Townsend Bell roaming, so T-Bell's going to be out and about. Marty Snyder, Kevin Lee, you got the whole gang here ready to go for this session, which has been slightly delayed, but as you may have just noticed there from the IndyCar official in the bottom left of your screen, just gave the crank it up signal. Time to wind them up and let's get ready to go for another valuable period of track time in the lead up to qualifying. Hinch, here are the current temperatures, and that windstorm slash dust storm has gone through fairly quickly.
It's gone through and it's taken a little bit of temperature out of the air as well. 77 degrees. Track temp still up over 100 though. About 20 degrees cooler than what we saw at this point yesterday, Diff, and now probably a little bit dustier and sandier than it was when they were running this morning, as we see the former teammates, Pato and Felix, horsing around as they're waiting for somebody else to go on track first, maybe clean it off a little bit.
Let's talk more about Kyle Kirkwood, Hinch. Let's have a look at what happened to the AutoNation Honda.
Well, it's already been a pretty exciting day for Kyle, and you just see him trying to get the power down. The back end just stepping out, coming out of turn 6 there. And you know, again, we talked so much about tire degradation. That's a huge way to control it, is eliminating that wheel spin on exit. Here's Stingray Robb. This is into turn 15. That's where we saw that little step out of the back end. That's where Grosjean had his issues earlier in the day. And here's another one from Stingray. Into turn 2, just carrying a little bit too much speed in. The track grip's not quite there. But hey, thank God for those paved runoffs.
Yeah.
Making it a lot easier on these drivers to kind of explore and push the limits.
That's been well used, that section of the track over the last couple of days.
The drama and excitement has not stopped there, because just moments ago, Kyle Kirkwood back on track, same spot, turn 8.
What?
He admitted he was missing some lap time here compared to his teammates, but just look at that slide. Doesn't get the overcorrection on that one, but it has not hurt his confidence at all, Dan.
Listen.
Handful of opposite lock, throttling the pedal back a little bit just to control that slide. That's not what you want to do in an IndyCar. That does not help tire degradation.
That's kind of shades of his teammate Colton Herter there. It looked like we've seen Colton do that numerous times over the years at different places around, so it's been an eventful day for Kyle Kirkwood. Check this out. The XPEL Chevy, Scott McLaughlin, all crossed up, but then still plenty of runoff. Let's show you what happened from his point of view.
Just the same thing we saw Stingray Robb doing earlier, down into turn 2, 3. Here's Christian Rasmussen dropping wheels there. Oh!
From one Ed Carpenter car to another. Let's go to Christian's teammate, Rinus VeeKay, who was quick yesterday.
This incredible amount of air underneath an IndyCar, then the sparks when you land. These things are not designed for that, Diff.
But as we've seen on numerous occasions, they're so robust, so strong. And we've seen them get airborne and noses up. Think about Marcus Ericsson at Nashville. Oh, here we go, the latest to run wide. Colton Herter as we check in with Townsend. Here's Callum Ilott. He was pretty amazing as well with his speed and his comfort with his new temporary team, I guess you could say. Check this out. Have a listen.
I was going to say that's more hard limiter than I've heard anybody have, and it's probably because he stayed on the throttle a couple feet too late.
Hinch, I wonder if it's the wind. I mean, it's picked up 10 miles an hour, maybe 15 steady in the last just like 10 minutes. So I wonder if that's really affecting what the drivers are feeling.
I was just going to say that same thing, Marty. We saw that dust storm kick in. The wind's changed direction. It's changed velocity. And, you know, you're seeing all the drivers now kind of pay the price for that. These are all very aero-sensitive cars. A 10-mile-an-hour change in wind, you know, that can affect your speed going into a corner, plus or minus, you know, quite a few miles an hour. And that can throw you off when you're racing at the absolute limit, which is what everyone's doing right now, preparing for that qualifying session coming up here in a couple hours. Oh, big understeer there from Will Powers trying to get on the power. The front tire's just not gripping. You see him turning the wheel, but it's not changing the trajectory of the car and just pushes right off into the dirt there. So this is interesting because, again, we've been running around for hours. These drivers have had 7 hours of practice up to this point, and now the track completely changes. The conditions completely change right before we're heading into qualifying, when it actually starts mattering, it actually starts counting, and that's going to throw a lot of these drivers and engineers for a loop. How much do we change the car? We had a decent balance this morning. Now the track's changed. Are we chasing those conditions? Is the wind going to change again before qualifying? This is when you really earn your money as an engineer, trying to predict what the track and what the conditions are going to be. As we take another look back here at Linus Lundqvist chasing the car a little bit. Here's into 15. This is where we saw Colton going a little wide, and same deal, just too much speed in. Probably a tailwind down that back straightaway. Marcus Ericsson, same spot of the racetrack, same result.
Told us he was going to work on this section of the track around us 16 and 17. This is what it sounded like. Definitely has characteristics of being pushed in there, doesn't it? Just getting that extra wind from behind and just getting shoveled over the edge. That's for sure.
Seen him at this type of race circuit be so dominant in the past. We talked this morning about how good he is to his tires. That's definitely going to be an advantage, but he's just completed his first flyer. I'm curious to see what kind of time he gets down to, but he goes wide. He gets that rear locking going into turn 2. It's going to be tough to string a lap together, Div.
This is going to put a seed of doubt if the weather conditions don't change between now and 5 o'clock local, 8 p.m. Eastern, when we have our qualifying coverage for you.
I would say it's a pretty standard line, but
whoa, you know, Christian Rasmussen, mate. Sorry to interrupt.
I saw that.
Rasmussen's off,
coming. And he's probably going to be a red. It's high
clear.
center.
You're going clear.
Yeah, he can't go anywhere. He's stuck.
I'm stuck.
So I believe this is down into that turn 2 section again that we've seen. Oh no, this is maybe turn 6.
So it stepped out twice. He caught it the first time. It went again, and then it was just too much.
Yeah, it's that 2-3 section. We've seen a lot of drivers have issues there. Some rear locking, fighting it in.
Townsend had the remark yesterday that, hey, there could be, as Alexander Rossi goes to the top. You're looking at Kiffin Simpson, the rookie here. Let's go on board with Rossi. T-Bell had a comment yesterday that, hey, there could be 50 cents on the line in a parking lot with, you know, shopping carts, shopping trolleys, and these guys that race each other as fiercely as ever. Do you concur?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you go indoor go-karting, you know, rental go-karting with a group of these guys, and it's all, you know, all hands on deck, no holds barred, going like it's the last lap of the 500. That's just how racing drivers are wired. Competition is what fuels them. And so I completely agree. It could be, you know, 50 cents on a lollipop, and you're still going to get a fierce battle out front. But McLaren really showing up in a big way. 1-2-5 right now. And they've been consistently quick. Right from the first session, Rossi was up there in the top 5. We've seen Callum up there quite a bit. Pato's had the pace as well, so this team definitely strong. Palou, we talked about him going out. He got it into the top 5, so again, consistently quick. As Newgarden jumps up there as well, so again, all 3 Penske's in the top 8.
Talking with Brian Barnhart, who you hear on the radio all the time with Alexander Rossi, as we look at the Mission Food onboard here. Brian said yesterday one thing that's been perplexing them that they need to get on top of on this 7 car sooner rather than later is qualifying position. You know, Alex is an enormously talented driver, Indy 500 winner, championship contender, but there's only so many times you can dig from behind, right? You got to be up there, and he just said, I'm not sure where we're missing, what we're missing, but one of those prioritized starting spots would be nice.
You can see him. He's doing a little bit of prep with his tires right now. I wonder if he's going for another shot at it. Rinus VK has just laid down an absolutely stonking time. 39.3, 9/10 of a second faster than Rossi did just a few moments ago. But yeah, to your point, Jeff, I mean, that was the big Achilles heel in 2023 for the 7 car. St. Pete, they had an issue. They caught some traffic. So, again, they didn't have the best starting spot. Did a great job to move up 6 spots to what was otherwise a tough race to progress in. So if they start sorting out their Saturdays, that could definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Rossi working with a new engineer this year, and Chris Lawrence, but it's that guy there in pit lane, Rinus VeeKay, that's currently setting the pace.
Watch Will Power's steering wheel here on the replay. Check this out.
Okay, so you saw those. Oh,
whoa,
wow.
Whoa.
Tons of curve there, and he's fighting it. You see him move his hand, those little blue lights at the side of the dash, that's his push to pass. He was trying to do everything. The Penske cars have been very good over the curves. I've noticed that this weekend. And he even, he went quickest with that lap. There's a few tenths lost just right there, Diff. But what was interesting to me was watching them try to get back to the push to pass button, Marty. It's going to be such a challenge for these drivers constantly having to go to the OT.
Everybody's made to feel like a VIP, VVIP, and from what I gather, all of the paddock and certainly all the IndyCar team feels great about being here. It's, among other things, is gorgeous. Everything is high quality, and it's fun. So people love the vibe.
It's absolutely amazing. I'm having fun seeing it. Thanks for making this possible. We hope this is the first of many years here at Thermal as the 9-car Scott Dixon just got backwards here on the racetrack. And let's take a look. I'm not sure if this is replay or live shot. I think that's live shot. He's back going. Let's take a look at a replay here. Dixon approaching turn 8. This is where the big bump is. It's caught out so many. Kyle Kirkwood, Pietro Fittipaldi. And leave it to the Grand Master here. Scotty Dixon, the 6-time champion, keeps his PNC Honda perfectly clean, never even leaves the track. That's a handy bit of driving.
That was nice.
When in doubt, flat out. The key to that was Dixon didn't just hammer on the brakes as soon as he lost control of the car. Had he done that, he would have been on a trajectory straight for the wall. You saw he kept all 4 of those Firestones rolling until he was facing backwards and could slow down. So that was partly skill, guys. I won't lie to you.
That was a little bit of Kiwi rally style.
It sure was.
There. Looking at track conditions, here's the Verizon Business Chevy of Will Power, the fast man, turn 9. Just a little twitch.
Little twitch, but a big penalty time-wise.
Yeah. Here's his teammate, Scotty Mack. What did McLaughlin do?
Just ripping up the paint. That's rude. It's a beautiful facility. They let you here. Look what you've done. Oh, just pitches the back of the car. Not just up. You saw it actually move a little bit driver's left. He's got to correct before he lands. So we were keeping our eye on this guy, but I think somewhere near the beginning of his lap, he had an issue. So this is out of turn 1, down into the 2-3 section that we've seen so many drivers struggle with. And yeah, immediately just goes way wide, abandons the lap. So we don't get our direct comparison yet. I imagine he will come back around and start another lap because he's just been cruising on this in lap now. And it's time for him to get to work and try and set another one. But that just shows you, like, he prepped, he did everything he needed to do, and on the push lap when it counted, immediately made a mistake. So that's the kind of issues we're going to see, I think, out of a lot of drivers once we get to qualifying, if these conditions stay similar. So that's the corner. He keeps it tidy-ish there, and you'll see, well, he doesn't go for push to pass there. So I wonder if this is a full-on quality attempt for him now. No, he's not reaching the button, so he's just kind of working on setup, working on balance. There goes push to pass.
Red 2 and overtake on this one. Copy.
I don't know about you folks at home or wherever you're watching, but that particular onboard, down low, right at the front of the car, I could watch that all day. Yeah, that's awesome.
One of my favorite views from an IndyCar
This is Christian Lundgaard, the high V Honda takeoff. Look at that.
That's as high as I want my V Honda to be.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Oh, come on, guys.
I gave you a little bit.
Yeah. Don't forget to tip your waiter. Try the meatloaf. I'm here till Thursday. This guy's been very quick all weekend long. 13th right now. Car looks comfy. Car looks sorted. The front end is very responsive.
It's been a big 2 days. With the money day tomorrow here at the Thermal Club $1 Million Challenge. Rossi hustling it through turn 17 onto the front straight.
You see with Rossi, the push to pass is a green border around that screen off as he hits the brakes. Push to pass can be controlled in a couple different ways. You can have it shut off with a variety of different parameters, normally below a certain throttle threshold, or when you exceed a certain brake threshold, it'll automatically cut off, or you can just re-push the button. But again, looking at it, lots of curb, and car takes it. Little bit of a jump there on the exit. But see, watch his left thumb. It looks like he's got to take his hand off the wheel there to get that push to pass button, compared to the Penske guys who I believe have it on a trigger. It's hard to tell with the dark gloves. He didn't get Townsend's memo about the white gloves.
Which you would never adhere to.
No, that's against my religion.
All right, let's see if Alexander Rossi continues to hustle. This is a good looking lap. He's around the back over to turn 9. This is actually behind where we're talking to you from. We can see Alexander now high above the top of the tower that we're in, past this big circular grass area around turn 9, through into the high speed. This is kind of like a condensed version of the Circuit of the Americas S's as well. And he's going to come to the alt start finish line, or alt finish line, I should say, here in a second to see if this finish and box is the call for Alexander Rossi. He does. Jumps to P3. Nicely done.
Stout lap.
P3 quicks at 98.64.
So, Diff, we rode on board with Joseph Newgarden a moment ago. Saw him having off on an attempted qualifying sim lap. Well, they decide to fire another set of stickers, Townsend, here at the 2 car. So Newgarden going to make another run at a qualifying sim. And the wind has picked up. So let's watch what he does right here.
Long back straightaway, tailwind here. Where does he brake?
You're right about that. Penske compliance over turn 8.
Yeah, he was a little wide, I thought, there, though. It looked like the bump was almost a little bit bigger offline. So a little bit sloppy through the first couple of S's. Now into the headwind. This is where a guy like Joseph Newgarden, the RoboCop, is brave with downforce, and he goes in deep right there. What did that do for him?
10.
Not much. 39.4 last lap.
Not his fastest of the session.
That's 7/10 off of power. So now you got 6 minutes. Plug in real quick, look at some data. Do you try a quick change? I think you got to throw everything you can at it. Newgarden hasn't been happy about his outright pace. He's been okay with long pace, but when we talked to him this morning, Diff, you could tell he was like, yeah, we just haven't been able to land that one fast lap.
All right, we've got some serious activity on track now, Kevin, for this final 5.5 minutes. Get ready. Check this out. Off turn 17, little tail steps out, big jump off.
Yeah, no problem.
Looked more dramatic from the onboard than what it was from the exterior. Here's Scott McLaughlin.
Whoa, all right. That Penske compliance, not what we were talking about, because that was...
So much for that theory, although that looked like it probably cased it, literally, gearbox case hanging off the back there of the car. There's Pato O'Ward. That's just another corner in the life of Pato. Guy's sideways always.
Christian Lundgaard has gone to the top of this session as we watch the replay. of Pato O'Ward. So there's been a change at the top in these closing minutes of the final test session.
Hinch, this could have been a massive shot.
I guarantee
massive.
Inside the car, he was just staring at that Armco not too far off. If that had gone a little bit differently, could have been game over. But this guy, it's game on.
Hey, and when you're 22, like Christian Lundgaard, $500,000 would be very nice. That is a significant margin, his speed, to put over the best qualifier in the history of this sport. We roll through the results pretty quickly for you because that is the end of the open test. Everyone will take something away, whatever they want from that. And then now it's time to deliver.